स्टीफन एडबर्ग टेनिसच्या खेळातल्या सर्व अँड व्हॉली स्टाईलचा एका जमान्याचा बादशाह. स्वीडनच्या या टेनिसवीराने 1985 ते 1992 या 7 वर्षाच्या कालावधीत पुरुष एकेरीची 6 ग्रँड स्लॅम विजेतेपदं पटकावलेली आहेत. टाइम्स ऑफ इंडियाच्या स्पोर्ट्स अवॉर्ड्सच्या निमित्ताने एडबर्ग सध्या मुंबईत आहे. एबीपी माझानं हीच संधी साधून स्टीफन एडबर्गशी संवाद साधला आणि त्याच्याकडून बियॉर्न ते रॉजर फेडरर असा टेनिसचा इतिहासच जाणून घेतलेला आहे. आपण पाहूया काय म्हणाला एडबर्ग.
साक्षात स्टीफन एडबर्ग आज आपल्या भेटीला एबीपी माझावर आलाय. स्टीफन एडबर्ग ओळख फार मोठी सांगण्याची गरज नाही, पण 6 ग्रँड स्लॅम टायटल्स. फ्रेंच ओपन मात्र त्याला कायम फ्रेंच ओपनच्या विजेतेपदावरनं हुलकावणी दिली, पण त्याचवेळी 6 ग्रँड स्लॅम टायटल्स त्याने जिंकली आहेत. 72 आठवडे तो नंबर 1 होता. आणि आजच्या पिढीला जर ओळख सांगायची तर स्टीफन एडबर्ग म्हणजे रॉजर फेडररचा तब्बल 2 वर्ष तो गुरुजी होता. आणि तोच स्टीफन एडबर्ग आज एबीपी माझाशी गप्पा मारायला इथं मुंबईत दाखल झालाय. स्टीफन, वेलकम टू यू.
Thank you very much.
Stephen, this is just second visit to India.
Yeah.
Once you have come in 1985 when you played semi-finals against India. Just we would like to know, what's the first image come to your mind when you think of India?
India, well, obviously from school, geography, huge population, elephants, I guess, Taj Mahal, which I've heard about, definitely. And coming to tennis, you know, I grew up Amritraj brothers, which, you know, when I talk about tennis, so there's things that comes to my mind.
Yeah, obviously. Stephen, you are here just to felicitate the sports person in India by Times of India Sports Awards. How much these awards or any other award is important to any sports person's life or career?
I think it is in sport important to sports people to be recognized, to have their awards, to be aware of it, to appreciate what you've done for the sport and what you've done for your country. So it is of importance. I know from Sweden it is quite a huge thing. So I think it's something good that comes out of it.
Stephen, you are yourself a champion. You have won 6 Grand Slam titles, but you have come from a country. Which country has produced a legend? Name is Bjorn Borg.
Yeah.
You have always idolized him.
Yes.
How will you describe or explain Bjorn Borg to this generation? Because this generation is very much in love with Roger Federer.
Oh yes, yeah. I think it was very similar 20 years ago. Everybody was in love with Bjorn Borg, which was a unique person in many ways. He was a breakthrough for Swedish tennis. Swedish tennis has been good for a long time, but he was the superstar, the superhero, not just in Sweden but around the world. And obviously he was my idol and something that I looked up to. Obviously I didn't play the same game as he did, and now if you look nowadays, I think Roger Federer is probably one of the most well-known athletes, one of the most popular athletes, so there are some similarities between the two of them.
What do you say, champions are always born or the system in the country produce it? Because after Bjorn Borg, Sweden has given a Stefan Edberg, but in last so many years, Sweden has not produced a single champion like you and Bjorn Borg. There are so many players, but not like you or Bjorn Borg.
No, I think first of all, I think Sweden has been an exception in many ways because Sweden is a very small country, only 10 million of population. I think we've done extraordinarily well producing so many players. Now we've been struggling for some time, but it's more like going back to normality, I would say. We're still hoping to produce some great players, but it's a lot of competition today from around the world, and it's you know, it's not easy. It's nothing that comes automatic at all.
Stephen, you also had a very much competitive era when you were playing. You had a competition with Baker, Agassi, then so many. McEnroe also almost, he was playing up to 95 something, like that. But how was your rivalry, on-court rivalry, I'm asking, with all of them, and mainly with Baker?
Obviously the biggest rivalry for me was Boris Becker, and playing a lot of big finals, especially 3 Wimbledon finals. It was memorable moments. I think you know, it was a lot of exposure even here in India, I understand, watching Wimbledon, so I enjoyed that. But at the same time, you know, I had a little rivalry with Mats Wilander at the time, little Sampras, Courier, and then I was lucky enough to play with some of the great players from I watched when I was growing up, there was Jimmy Connors, Ivan Lendl, John McEnroe, and then I played with this sort of new generation of Pete Sampras and Agassi. So I was very lucky that I was part of almost 3 generations of top players.
So who was the toughest to beat?
The toughest to beat, yeah, I mean, Boris Becker was one of them. Pete Sampras at his best. I had a tough time against Andre Agassi, who was returning my serve really well. So there were some tough opponents around.
Stephen, you retired almost in 1996. So obvious question comes to my mind when you took that assignment to coach as well as mentor Federer. How much game had changed in that 20 years?
Yeah. Definitely the game has changed like any other sport, and you know, they make improvements in racket technology, you know, their knowledge about, you know, how to look after the body, nutrition, everything has got better, and facilities. So yeah, it had changed definitely. And you know, I had 2 years with Roger Federer as a mentor coach, and something unique to be on his team, try to make some improvements, have some say into the team, and you know, I think he's been doing so well here over the last couple of years, and extremely well over the last 12 months. And he's a unique person in many ways, on and off the court, and he's still a player who wants to be out there, and I don't know how he keeps his motivation. He just keeps going.
That I want to know, because recently, very recently, he has come back to the top of the ranking.
Yes.
And at the age of 36, Agassi was top of the ranking at the age of 33. What keeps these players motivated?
Yeah, that's a very good question, and that's why I'm fascinated. He just wants to be out there, and just to keep the motivation, because it requires a lot of work. I mean, you see the matches on television, but there's so much more that goes on behind the scenes. And but I guess he still loves the game. He still think he can improve. He still wins, but he also has the support from a great team, and his support from his family. So it's a lot of things that sort of need to click together, I believe.
Roger got almost 20 Grand Slam titles so far.
Yeah.
Do you think he will be the highest number of titles in Grand Slam over the years?
Most likely it will be a record that will be very hard to beat, but we have, I say we still have 2 players which are young enough to reach that. You got Djokovic at 12, so he's got a long way to go, obviously. You got Rafa Nadal, which only is 4 away. He's younger than Roger is, and if he can do the same thing as Roger's been doing over the last couple of years, he definitely has a chance, but it's a tough goal to reach.
Obviously the competition is also there, but why you think Roger is playing at differently compared to Rafa, Andy or Djokovic?
Well, Roger has all the weapons in the tools, and you know, he's got a great game to start with, but even, you know, as you get older, you have to make adjustments to have a little different game plan, and he's made the changes that has been necessary. He's got more confidence, and he's amazingly won 3 Grand Slams in the last 12 months, which who would have thought that? Not me anyway, and it's a big surprise, but it's a nice surprise.
Stephen, the last question, an obvious question. You are satisfied with your achievements as a player, or that one Grand Slam in French Open still disturbs you because you have lost to Michael Chang?
Yeah, it doesn't disturb me too much, but it's being mentioned over and over again because I knew how close I was. It was probably a final that I should have won in many ways. I had a chance, but never mind. I mean, I still had a good career, so you have to look at it that way. You know, things could have been better, but things could have been a lot worse.
Just for the learning part, Federer also has won only one French Open.
Yes.
How it is different from other surfaces? Just for the learning,
it's just
a common man.
Yeah, it's just different. I mean, you need a different kind of games. When on the clay court, it's clay, it's slippery and it's sliding, and you need to have a lot of top spin. That's where you get the benefits, and it's a game of patience and stamina in a different way. So it's it's not suited for everybody, and it's played on different surfaces, the Grand Slam, so you're not going to be the perfect player on all surfaces. You're always going to have maybe one surface where you're not as good as on all the others. It's just a natural thing. But I think Roger Federer probably would have won maybe another Grand Slam in the French Open, but Rafa Nadal has been there for some time to stop him.
Thanks talking to ABP Majha and ABP News.
Okay, excellent. Thank you.
हा होता स्टीफन एडबर्ग. अगदी दिलखुलास बोलला एबीपी माझाशी. प्रत्येक गोष्ट त्यांची टेनिसची अगदी आपल्याला समजावून सांगितली. कॅमेरा पर्सन श्रीकांत इंगळसह विजय साळवी, एबीपी माझा.